Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Taylor and this is going to be Tiny Adventures with Tay. So my first YouTube video is going to be about my high school experience. A lot of people voted for this one and the second most votes was what's in my bag, so I'll probably do that next week. And just like to talk about what this channel is going to be about quick, there's going to be like blogging, reviews, personal experiences, crazy stories, a little bit of everything. I mean, it's going to be fun. So be sure to like and subscribe, of course. And I'm just going to get right to the video. So my freshman year, it wasn't that hard as everyone made it seem. A lot of like middle school teachers were saying like, oh, you're not going to get passes to go this and that. You're not going to be able to wander the halls. You're not going to be able to do this. But really, it was even better because you can do all of that and then some. At least at my high school, like freshman year was super fun for me. All of my friends were in the same like locker area as I am, and I became close with like my whole locker strip, which is good because you never know what you're gonna need to borrow, or you never know like how they'll have your back. And freshman year, I joined like a lot of clubs and I did a lot of activities. And that was the best part for me just because I like to be involved in everything. Like I did Best Buddies, I did Key Club, Student Council, and so many other things just because I wanted to see. Like I wanted to be a part of everything. And it helped me gain a lot of friends too. So don't be that person who is scared to go and join clubs. Don't not join something just because your friends aren't doing it. I helped a lot of my friends get into other clubs because I was doing stuff and telling them about how fun it was. And they're like, oh, like maybe I should try it. So remember, always do what you want to do. It doesn't matter if your friends are tagging along. And speaking of friends, throughout your whole 4 years of high school, they come and they go. And that seems a little bit harsh, but really, once you're at your senior, you'll know, like, a lot of people in your life will leave and a lot of people will stay, and sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's for the worst. That's just the whole high school experience, learning to be friends with different people and different groups. And for me, I was friends with a lot of different people. I didn't just have my set group, so that helped me like explore more too, because I got to see everything instead of just my one like tunnel vision, my group, this. No, I got to be a part of everything, and I was always like, hey, to like everybody. And it's always just good to be super nice to people just because you never know like how they might help you with anything throughout high school. It's a long 4 years. You don't want to burn your bridges at freshman year. Another thing about freshman year, it was not nearly as hard like schoolwork wise. It was pretty easy, probably the same amount of work as you were getting in middle school. Freshman year, that was cool, but sophomore year, that's when things got fun. I started doing more adult things like going out after school, like hanging out with people longer, like relationships, parties, stuff like that. Sophomore year is kind of when you like know the ropes of high school and you blossom and thrive. At least that was the case for me. That's when I started going to like parties, and the party scene, obviously every high school is different, but the party scene at my high school is pretty awesome. But with that being said, don't get too like stuck in the party. So don't be like that person that comes back and talks like obsessively about what happened at the party on Saturday. Like just keep it low key, keep it chill. Talk with people who were there and like still keep it low key, because you never know who's listening or what teacher might find out, or even your principal. That happened a lot at my school. A lot of parties got like busted by the police, and at my school, what happens in your community happens at school. So you're gonna be getting in trouble with your principal if you're getting in trouble at a party. So just be cautious of things like that, obviously, especially if you play sports or planning on like signing, anything like that. And just like don't be that person that calls in a party just because you didn't get invited. My junior year of high school, this girl called in on every single high school prom party. Like, so that kind of sucked for my class because none of us were able to party after prom, and that's kind of like the idea. So I went to prom all 4 years, and I was super excited to finally party with my class, and it didn't even happen. There was like one party, and only like a few people from a select group got invited. So don't be that person that snitches on a party because you didn't get invited or you didn't get to go. That's just bad sportsmanship. So sophomore year, that's when I started like getting into boys, things like that. That's when I started really dating, honestly, I would probably say don't date your freshman year. I did. It was cool. He was an upperclassman, so I got to go to prom. That was probably the best part. But it didn't last. Like, it was cool and all for like 8 months, and then I'm just like, okay, this is done for. But I also had a date for every dance my freshman year, which was awesome. Don't be that person that doesn't go to a dance just because your friends aren't going, or just because like the upperclassmen you hang out with aren't going. Don't be that person. Just because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity, a chance to make memories, a chance to dress up and go out to eat and party with your friends, just because one person in your group isn't going. And even if your boyfriend doesn't want to go, still go. Period. Still go. Don't let him like dictate, oh, you can't go, da da da. No, I don't want to hear that. It's high school. You need to literally make every memory last because the 4 years breeze by. And I know everyone says that, but I didn't believe it going into my freshman year. And like, I'm a senior, I graduated in January, and I'm like, wow, that was over before I even knew it. So don't let anyone dictate how you feel about a dance, and the same goes for clubs or even other activities. So moving on to junior year, this was like the best year just because it's like you're finally what's considered upperclassmen at my school, and you get like your lockers are moved onto the first floor depending on your last name, so that was the best part, honestly, for me. I like having lockers closer to my classes, so that way I have more time to do whatever. Like, it's high school, to talk to people, eat snacks, do whatever. So junior year was pretty awesome. I had my favorite class ever, which was Anat and Phys, and I became close with like a lot of the seniors, which is obviously heartbreaking when they left me to go to school, but it still was like awesome to have that bond with like upperclassmen and be the youngest in your class. In Anat and Phys, I got to dissect so many things, and I learned so many things about the human body, which was my favorite part. I've always loved science, but Anat and Phys was my favorite class. Take it if you can. It's the best thing ever. My junior year, I was involved in a lot of things. This was the year that I took off a year for cheer, which I was pretty sad because I've been being a cheerleader. I've been doing cheerleading for such a long time, but the gym that I was at just didn't work out for me. I'll talk about that in a different video, but I took a year off of cheer, so I had a lot of time to honestly excel in school. Like, I got my CNA license. I was doing great, like A's, B's, 3.0. It was a good year. Good ACT score, like, it was a good year. So junior year, I'm not saying, like, take off of your sports and everything, but I'm definitely saying pay attention to your grades. Like, don't let your grades slack just because of other things that you're doing. Like, I still worked full-time. I've had a job since I was 16, 2 jobs since I was 16, working a lot of hours, but do not let that distract you from your schoolwork at all, because junior year is honestly the most important year. Like, yeah, you can retake your ACT score, but you can't make up that, like, D that you got because you slept in class. Like, just really pay attention to little things like that. It matters. Also, junior year was, like, more like when everyone was, like, open about, like, drinking and honestly doing drugs and other stuff like that. Don't feel like you have to give in to temptation. Like, I know that sounds so, like, childish, and, like, a lot of people say that, but just because your friends are drinking at a party, you don't have to drink with them. You can still have fun with them while they're drunk, but you do not have to drink with them. You do not have to do drugs with them. Don't let anyone put you in that situation where you feel like you have to. I don't care if it's your friend or literally your best friend's cousin. Don't ever feel like you have to do drugs or alcohol to be with a certain friend group or to hang out with them or to make people like you. You don't at all. Like, don't get into that mindset. I know a lot of underclassmen are like, well, they all drink, they all do this. Yeah, and you don't have to. You can still be friends with them. And that's the same thing about what I was just talking about before. Like, be careful at parties. You never know whose parents going to call in. You never know when the police are going to show up. Like, you never know anything. So just be careful. Obviously, like, people are going to drink. It's high school. But, again, if you don't want to, you don't have to. And senior year is the best year of your high school experience. It's the most fun. This is when most people take, like, their, like, laid back classes. People take like 3 art classes, a foods class, and like only 2 real classes. For me, I graduated early and I left at 12, so I took a foods class, a co-op class. I did teacher assistant for one of my favorite English teachers, and I took an English class that wasn't required, but I couldn't leave before that, so I had to do. Senior year was awesome for me, and my TA was so sweet. Like, it was just a good year. So honestly, your senior year is your time to have fun. That's when you take like the classes you didn't get to take your freshman or junior year because you wanted to take your real classes. Senior year is where you kick back and you really just get to spend the most time with your friends and really just kind of slack off. Like, that sounds so bad, but in reality, that's just how it is. Like, I didn't do much work, but even for my friends that had like full schedules of core classes, they really didn't do that much work either. Senior year was a pretty foods classes, gym classes. I know a lot of people at my school took senior gym, even though you don't get a credit for it. Do what makes you happy. And just to end the video, my best high school advice that I can give you is to have fun. Do what like really makes you happy and what you're interested in. Again, don't do something just because your friends are or aren't doing it. Pay attention to school and work hard. Don't slack off when you know you can get something done easily. That's when you try your hardest and go for the A instead of the B. And really just make the best of it as you can. Don't be that person that's negative every day, like, I hate school, I don't want to be here, I hate classes. Be that person that's like, okay, I'm coming to school, get to see my friends, get lunch, it's fine, it's cool. Like, just make the best out of every situation in high school, and there are going to be some situations where you're like, wow, I cannot believe I waited till 1 a.m. the night before this project is due to do it. But guess what? You pull an all-nighter and you get it done and probably get like a B. So there, you're going to be able to make it through anything that they put you through in high school as long as you try. Just really try your hardest. Don't wait till last minute just because you know you can. If you are that person to wait till last minute, really try to push yourself to work on it a few days before, even if it's just like a little piece of it, just so that you don't have to maybe stay up till 5 a.m. and you can only stay up till 3 a.m. Well, that's the end of this video, guys. And to just wrap up this video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the first video that I really put effort into, but still it was kind of a test run. Hopefully the videos after this will be better, but I hope you guys enjoyed my high school experience and a little bit of my high school advice. If you guys have questions, feel free to comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, x0x0.che, for more fun and shenanigans.